I'm Paul.
And I'm Nicole.
We went 100 miles on a 100 amp hour battery.
Okay, but why? Why would we do that?
Because we're crazy.
The reason why is because we were selling our diesel engine because we've converted to a fully electric setup and we had to go to Green Cove Springs. We already unhooked our engine and we were ready to test out the system, but all we had was a 100 amp hour battery pack.
And a wrecking ball.
Yeah, it did not stop us. Here we went to Green Cove Springs from St. Augustine, and we eventually went on to Palaca, Florida, which is where we are now. So that makes 100 miles on our 100 amp hour battery pack. That's crazy, but it worked. We did it, and we want to tell you how it went for us.
It was an adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Day one was really crappy.
Horrible. It was what you always hear about electric sailboats. Like, don't do it.
The wind was not in our favor. We were only going like 1 knot. We didn't go very far. We ran down a lot of our juices really quickly, trying to beat the current, the St. Augustine current. It was ripping, and it was just not a good day. We sucked our batteries down to 30%. And we decided to just go ahead and anchor a couple miles past where we started by the Volano Bridge. And that was fine. It was a great idea. The next day was a lot better. It was a little bit sunnier. We were able to make it a lot further that day. And we were charging while we were driving. So we did end up using our generator on day 3 to charge up our batteries, so that when we took off on day 3, we had full batteries and we could see how far we could get. It was a beautiful day. We were moving at a slow pace, but we were bringing in electricity, and as we were traveling up the ICW, we totaled about 10 miles that day.
Our expectations wasn't very high, considering it was just a 100 amp hour battery, and we had a 150 volt 45 amp charger from Victron, but that's what we had to do to get to Green Cove Springs Marina so we could finish fixing the boat.
So on day 4 we sailed to Sisters Creek. It was a cloudy day and we weren't making it very far. We were trucking it at like 1 or 2 knots.
Yeah.
And we weren't charging our batteries because it was a cloudy day, so we sailed, but we made it as far as Sisters Creek, which was actually pretty far. We were headed to Green Cove Springs to get our engine pulled out, have a lot more room in here, get that heavy engine out of here, and be fully electric, finally.
Yeah.
1 battery isn't very sufficient, but we're planning on bumping that up in the future, so stay tuned for that. Subscribe. Like the video, guys, and give us a comment, and we'll get back to telling you about the journey.
Yeah, and all the upgrades to make it more optimal and how it works so much better now.
Yes.
And we're not even done yet.
Yeah, still a bunch more upgrades to come for sure.
A few more.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got most of it done.
Yeah, a lot of interior stuff too, if you didn't notice our table here. Woo! But anyway, we'll get to that in a future video. Back to day 4.
Yeah, it was
slow
horrible.
Day.
The currents were crazy.
Cold day, but we actually made it pretty far.
Yeah, we did.
It was just a cloudy day. We weren't bringing in any amps, and we sucked our battery down by the time we got to Sisters Creek. And then day 5 was another rainy day, so we stayed land day that day. But we took off again on day 6, and it was the best day yet. It was a sunny day. It felt great outside. We were trucking it at like 2 and 3 knots. That was a good day.
Yeah.
We made it pretty far. I think like 20 miles we made it that day. So on a good day, a sunny day, when you're bringing in amps, we were still getting 20 miles in on a good day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on day 7, we motored all through the day pretty much, and then we had 80% when the sunset came, and we drove through the night till I think we got the batteries down to like 20% that night or something like that. I can't even remember now. We used a bunch of juice. We went through the night and
ended up sailing.
Yeah, we ended up sailing because it was like the perfect wind and stuff, and we were so close. Yeah. Pretty sunset. We finally made it to Green Cove Springs Marina on day 8, where we had went through 500 amp hours on our battery at this point. And
so we cycled through our battery 5 times, and this was 70 miles in on day 8.
70 miles in. That's pretty good.
After we got to Green Cove Springs, we did our haul out, but we didn't include that in our traveling 100 miles in our calculations with the days. So the next technical day was a week later, day 9, when we left Green Cove Springs and we were headed to Palaca, Florida, the last 30 miles on our trip. We made it there in 10 hours and we were averaging 3 knots. What is going on back there? Our dog's going crazy. Sorry about that.
Overall, everything did pretty good, but we're improving it a lot. We're optimizing things. I would definitely have gotten 2 MPPT charge controllers and had them both hooked up if I would have knew more about solar stuff. But other than that, we have another one now, and we're going to be able to pump in twice as much solar off the same setup, actually a little bit more than double the solar. And we also are getting rid of our 12 volt batteries off the boat to something like this.
Upgrading.
Just to runs the bilge pumps, thanks to some guy that builds custom golf carts in Jacksonville. But he's a pretty cool dude too. He gave me an excellent deal on these things. But
Facebook Marketplace.
They dropped the voltage from the 51 volts down to 12 volts so we can run all the 12 volt boat stuff, because there's a lot of 12 volt things they don't make, and the bilge pumps is one of them for the size and space. They do make some 48 volt ones, and most of them are custom and expensive, and if it breaks you want to have like multiples, and I'd rather just buy this thing, a few of these, and have some backups, and we can buy whatever bilge pump we want. It keeps our options way open, and that seems to be like a problem right now, is the 48 volt appliances and bunt converters and bunt boost converters and all that crazy stuff. But anyway, we got all the Victron inverter charging controllers, and everything's like running off of that, and it seems to be working really good.
New prop?
Yeah, we got the new prop, and that
That's
honestly that doubled the efficiency of the motor. Like it kind of gave us more top speed using like half the amps. Like I can put it at like 10 amps and we're going 2 knots now, and before like it was like 50 amps, so it's way better.
And then also we're getting more batteries.
Yeah.
More of the Ography batteries.
Yeah, because they seem to be a pretty good deal, and they're not sponsoring me or nothing like that, but I wish they would. That'd be cool. Or if there is any battery sponsors out there, we'll put them to the test, and we'll make videos about them. But anyway, other than that, we got a bunch of paint and cosmetic stuff to start taking care of. All of our mechanical stuff is pretty well sound, and just a few upgrades on that, and then
a lot of upcoming upgrades for the very near future to show you guys. They're all in the works but not ready to be shown off. But we've got the new table, we've reconstructed the kitchen, or the galley.
Yeah.
And we've made our pull-out bed that was on the starboard side into a couch. And we turned the couch into the kitchen table. We've got a new air conditioner.
Replaced a lot of
we're about to get
wood
some new
with
cushions.
PVC.
Yeah. We got a new composting toilet, an even bigger one. There's a lot that we're going to show you guys, and I know we actually haven't even done like a proper boat tour yet, but we're going to be doing that for you guys soon after we get everything done. But we're about to be painting the top. There's so much coming in the near future, so subscribe if you're new.
And if you guys got any comments on what is that stuff called, the EVE foam deck stuff, if anybody has experience with that, leave some something in the comments down there and tell us about it, because we're interested in that.
All the new things we're so excited for. We can't wait. We love our little boat home. We love it out here, and we hope you guys love the videos. We're definitely going to keep making them even when we're not getting a lot of views, because I feel like we're going to be doing a lot of really fun stuff, and our family members and friends that do watch it are going to have a heyday, because it's just going to be us having a blast. Like, pretty soon we're going to be going to the springs.
Yeah, we're going to be Tom Sawyering it up through the nasty swampy swamps in the crystal clear ice cold blue water.
Yeah, we're pretty much ready to go ahead and do that. A little break and then get back to some boat work, but
yeah,
you'll have to find out next week.
Yeah, it's like it's cold in here. And it's hot outside.
And you can't even hear the air conditioner going, and we don't have a generator going.
What?
And every time we've traveled lately, our engine didn't break down in the middle of it.
Yeah, the boat didn't do anything weird. Like when we got up to the bridge, the boat just kept doing normal stuff.
It went through it.
Yeah,
it went under it.
It didn't like idle down like creepily.
We have too many bridge experiences.
Yeah, it's always the bridges. It's always the boats. No, they
but
get
so far
scared.
we are very, very happy with the electric setup.
Yeah,
I have an air fryer now. I have an electric stovetop. He's making it a gimbal stovetop for me.
Yeah, it's a inductive stovetop.
We are thriving out here, people.
And we only have half our solar panels hooked up at the moment, and only the one charge controller. I still got to get some wire.
We reconstructed those.
And yeah, we reconstructed that, so it's totally different. All new boat up there. Cockpit's huge, and then these friends that we met or whatever that bought a boat we were anchored next to. They gave us this GPS Garmin thing and some anchor and stuff. Their boat had termites in it, and it died. That sucks for their boat and what they had going on.
Yeah,
but they gave us this really awesome Garmin thing. And shout out to Saul and
family.
Yeah, and family. I forget the rest of their names, but I remember Saul. Yeah, it's pretty easy for me.
Yeah, because your name's Paul.
But anywho.
Yeah, so we've got a lot coming, and we're super excited to share it with you. We're going to leave it at that. You guys have a great rest of your week. It's Sunday when we post this, so have a great rest of your week. Bye.
Later.